My name is Lena Bombard. I'm the Humane Society Manager and Animal Control Officer. As manager of the Humane Society, my main task here in the mornings is to make sure the staff are on task, taking care of the animals. Animal Control Officer is a separate duty that I have to follow through with on call for the police and emergencies. That can happen at any point during the day, where there could be car accidents, dogs running loose, an abandonment case. So I actually have to juggle both positions at the same time. But majority of my mornings are spent here at the shelter, making sure that the animals are cared for, receive any prescribed medications, deal with any situations that may have come up with an animal being ill, new animals coming in, making sure that they're monitored, and responding to emails and phone calls and doing adoptions. The Tri-Lakes Humane Society was originally called the Adirondack Animal Welfare Society. It was founded in 1942 by a group of concerned teenagers that realized there were all these animals running loose, but nobody really taking care of them. There was a local vet on Dorsey Street that actually assisted these teenagers. They built a bicycle with a little cart cage, and they were the first animal control officers for the village of Saranac Lake. And they would pick up strays or go to people's homes that found an animal. They would ride their bike with the dog in the back and go to the vet hospital, and sometimes the vet would house them there, but they also had a makeshift shelter in Manny Bernstein's backyard that was like a chicken wire fence and a dog house, and that was the first animal shelter. In 1998, the board of directors voted to become a no-kill facility, which means no animal will be euthanized for space reasons, breed, age, color. Basically every adoptable animal is kept alive to be placed into a new home. I think one of the surprising features of our shelter is that we have a very open volunteer program, and people that are maybe looking to do some community service can actually come sign up, bring their children, have it be a family-oriented community service. They can walk dogs, they can play with the cats, they can help, it teaches children especially some tasks of helping others.
So I started volunteering for the shelter when I was in 5th grade at St. Bernard School as an after-school project when they were at the old shelter down sort of behind Kidney Drugs. And I was there for a number of years through the move to the new shelter where they're located now, up on the Wapan Highway. And I volunteered there as many days a week as I could throughout middle school and the beginning of high school, doing everything from walking dogs, changing cat litter boxes, just hanging out, helping people adopt animals. And I was always involved in the medical aspect of things as much as I could. When there was a lot of in-house medical care being done at the shelter, I was always tried to be there whenever I could. And then I went away to college and kind of stepped back from the shelter a little bit just because I wasn't in Saranac Lake anymore. And when I applied to vet school, Lena was actually one of the people that wrote my recommendation letter to get into vet school, and I used all my experience at the shelter to sort of get into veterinary school. And so now I'm sort of back full circle as a veterinarian working with the shelter again.
When you come here, you are struck by how much the animals are loved, but I guess I would take that even a little further and say that the other thing that is very surprising about the shelter is how well the staff knows the animals and works with an adopter or potential adopter to make sure that what they're looking for is can be matched as effectively as possible by choosing the right animal to go home with them. Our biggest challenge is, like so many, as it is for so many other not-for-profit organizations, is finding the funds to do what we need to do to keep this facility up to date. Our annual budget was about $180,000. We're now creeping up to something in the neighborhood of $270,000, $280,000. And we do have a mixture of how we get our funding. We get about $45,000 or $50,000 from the contracts we have for the services we provide to various towns and villages here in the region. And those services can include dog control services, and Lena is our dog control officer and is doing most of that work, but that when it comes to the shelter. And then the other big service is, of course, the sheltering services that we provide for the animals that come here to live. So about 45 to 50,000. The rest of that comes from grants, donations, and fundraising events. Well, we're in a pretty good place for the most part. We have some challenges as we look into the future for sure, but we have a terrific staff. Lena runs a really tight ship, and for them it's all about the animals, and they care so much about the animals. It's just, you come in here and everybody worries about going into a shelter, how am I going to respond to that? But when you come in here, you feel the love.